Hello and welcome to a very special interview with a very special athlete. And I make no qualms in saying that Sharath Kamal is one of my favorite athletes of all time. If anybody wants to feel inspired, defy the laws. I mean, now with sports science, we've seen in tennis people like Roger Federer. In India, you see Sharath Kamal. Look at the consistency, look at the passion, look at the hunger. Go take a look at the Commonwealth Games and since, and you will know what I'm talking about. Sharath, thank you very much for joining me. Obviously, all of India, having seen what you did in the Commonwealth Games, yes, I know the standard of competition is much tougher, but will want something of a repeat. 2018, 2 medals. How are you looking at the Asian Games?
Firstly, thank you very much for Boria for having me over. Yes, in 2018, we did what was unthinkable. We won 2 bronze medals for the first time in the history of Asian Games in table tennis. And the expectations are high this time. But I think with expectations, the champions raise. And that is the kind of pressure, that I'm at least looking at trying to have that pressure work more positively for me. We have a good team. We have a great team this was the same team as 2018. That's going to repeat itself in 2023 now in the Asian Games on the men's side. So as you rightly said, yes, Commonwealth Games, the competition is going to be much tougher at the Asian Games because Asian Games for table tennis is almost very, very equivalent to the Olympic Games. But at the same time, when we did it for the first time in 2018, now we are also more hungry to get those medals. Not just those 2 medals. Hopefully, we would like to add a few more. In men's doubles, there's women's doubles, there's men's singles, women's singles. So there are a lot more events this time, and there are 2 more events actually: men's doubles and women's doubles. So there are a lot more events where we could try and get those medals also now.
I was there in Birmingham, and the thing that sort of stood out for me, you had matches back to back. Oftentimes, you weren't even leaving the court. You were playing every single day, and yet you did not lose intensity. I mean, again, you will be playing multiple events at the Asian Games in China. Talk to me about that. Physically, mentally, you have to be switched on at your absolute best. Talk to me.
It's very much to do with the process of periodization, trying to hit your peak at the right moment and trying to load your body as much as possible in the initial period of the graph, so that when the actual tournament with all that anxiety, the excitement, the stress and everything kicks in, you are already ready. Firstly, physically, if you're able to take that amount of load, mentally, you will be able to, pass with the kind of requirement that's needed through a major tournament. But as an experienced player, I do know what it takes to be on the best shape for over 12 days, 10 to 12 days. As you rightly said, we start off with the team championships, then we'll go into the singles, then we have the doubles. So I'm playing 3 events there, and it'll be back to back, like at the Commonwealth Games. Of course, in Commonwealth Games, I played 6 games in one day. There were days like that. But here also, if I go the length, I guess here also I would be, playing a lot of matches in one particular day. But it's all about the training that we are putting it in, not just right before the Asian Games, but I started my preparation back in April, 1st of April. 31st of March was the day when I started preparation for the Asian Games. So I first said to myself, okay, I need to shed some kilos so that I'm faster on the court, and with the speed in the body, your mind also starts to get sharper and quicker. You make better decisions when you're physically fitter. So I am when I'm looking at myself, I'm looking at the graph is starting to peak now. August we'll spend some more time in terms of training. We have the Asian Championships coming up just prior to the Asian Games. So we'll have a training camp in Bangalore, then we have the Asian Championships, a few days break, then we go to China for a short training camp, and then we'll continue for the Asian Games.
When I speak to some of your partners, and here I mean somebody like Satyan, I mean, say, Shrija during the Commonwealth Games. Both, and Satyan, for example, tells me that, when I play with Sharath, and I've been playing with him for years, it doesn't feel that he's 11 years older. He tells me, if you want to, you have a thought, go implement it. And he gives me complete freedom to do that. And that sort of, and Shrija says the same. Thoughts about that sort of, according to me, makes a partnership stand out. And what I see between you and Satyan, even in the World Championship, you all were close in that pre-quarter final match, right? That final game against Pitchford and that pair. So 3-2, if I remember right. So talk to me about that pairing between you and Satyan.
Yeah, one thing in doubles is it's about the understanding between the two partners. Sometimes as partners, one has to take charge, the other will follow. And sometimes you both are on equal grounds onto who will lead now, who will follow, or, So between me and Satyan, it's pretty much okay. But sometimes I lead, sometimes he leads, and we try to take the best out of both the situations, because game-wise also, how we play is I play very attacking and he plays very his is a lot of placements, and he doesn't go so aggressive with his shots, but he's a lot into placements, changing the timing of the ball. He creates the opportunities for me. So if I'm going to take the charge all the time, the opponents are going to read this and they're going to put more pressure on Satyan. So at that time, I need to let him take charge and I need to play the second fiddle. So there, I think the understanding between both of us is really fantastic. And Satyan is a great team guy. He's very good. But in mixed doubles, it's pretty much the opposite. Yeah, Srija is so timid. She's so afraid that she wants me to take charge all the time. And if I don't take charge, then she feels like she's done something wrong. But that's not the case. Yeah, that's sometimes I don't take charge because I'm not able to take charge. I also have my let's say my bad moments in the game. But yeah, that is where I need to understand what my partner needs, and we need to go according to how the situation requires. And by and large, I'm more this guy who doesn't who's fine with how we can build up the team, because the most important thing is the environment, the atmosphere on the team. Let's say it's a doubles team, or or a team with 5 people or 4 people. It is more about how we can collectively come together, put our differences behind, and make sure our strengths are put forth so we are a strong team ahead.
Okay. And one more question on the Asian Games front. And I remember you talking to me about sports science and the impact of somebody like Gayatri Varta. And I now see that this whole holistic approach in Indian sport taking more and more root. Thoughts about that?
I started working with a team around me since 2016. Post 2016, I in 2015 I had a major hamstring injury, which almost I thought my career was ending. I was 32, 33 at that age, and I thought there's no coming back. But then I pulled together a team who could help me build up the way I am today. So I have a coach, table tennis coach, I have a strength and conditioning coach, I have a physio, I have a mental coach and a dietitian. So these 5 work in tandem to what is best for me. We make a plan first. We decide on, okay, what are the tournaments in a year are important, which phase, which months we'll have to hit a peak, which months we deliberately have to fall down so that the next peak again comes when we want. It can't be just natural. Okay, maybe we hope we would be hitting the peak in Asian Games. No, we can't hope, especially at my age. I can't hope. I have to do things. I have to take charge of what's happening, because I'm not in my early 20s where the peak continues to constantly keep growing ahead and ahead. So we have to make sure that the peak suddenly abruptly stops so that it goes down, and again I pick it up from there. So for all of this, the team is working together, making sure if you're going on a foundation phase, we're building up a lot of stuff, or we're going on a power phase where we're trying to be explosive in the kind of workouts we're doing, in the kind of food that I'm taking in, so that'll help me in that particular phase of that let's say the training process. So this whole team works together so that I can give my best. So that is how sports sciences really helped me understand my own self, my body, my mind, and the way I can perform.
What is interesting here is how the process has changed in Indian sport. I mean, that was not the case not too long ago, and that's the sort of standout feature. I mean, you have said this to me in the past, and I've always admired this in you. You know, modern research, imbibing things, making use of them. And I wish you all the very best for the Asian Games.